Hi there guys, Big G back again with another video. Yes, I just did that video for those 3 Osborne portables that I picked up last week, so I thought, well, let me keep going. And I looked around the tables and that, and I saw some other pickups, which before I forget, I thought, let me share with you guys as well. So yeah, first up, I really like these little Namco controller game systems. Basically it has some of the classics on it. I think it's 4 games: Rally X, Pac-Man, Galaxian and so forth. But the reason why I picked this one up, I actually want to take this one apart, and I'm going to move this and I'm going to use this in one of my arcade cabinets because it actually plays a really nice version of Pac-Man, and it's original and so forth. And the controller, I can easily transport the innards of this into an arcade, one of my small little arcade cabinets. And I thought, interesting project for the future. Let me know what you think, but I think it'll be great. Okay, so, and then moving on, some Atari stuff. I always like picking up the Atari stuff. Great old system. So, a couple of games, all from one seller in Johannesburg. Another copy of E.T., a better copy than what I've got. I always like to upgrade my stuff, so that means I'm going to have a spare ET. So yeah, and then a Warlords, also a great old game. I think this has also become a spare, and I think I've got a number of these. A very common game, Night Driver. The main reason why I went for this set from this particular seller was because of the boxes that it came with and the other titles that it came with. Now this doesn't have the original game inside it, it's just the box. So somewhere along the line I need to pick up the actual game for Skeet Shoot. Now if you go into price charting, you'll actually see that this is quite a rare game for Atari. It's got the manual, it's got everything in, just minus the game. So somewhere out there in the wild, the game is out there. And this goes for, if I remember, about $59, complete in box. So actually, yeah, I'm going to try and complete this one. And then I love the Spectravision stuff. I mean, their boxes are fantastic. This has the game and the manual, it's complete. I think I already have one, Crossforce. But I just love this foil look to them. So yeah, this is an upgrade of my current game. I had to go for it. Love that. As well as China Syndrome. Also just love that beautiful foil boxes and the artwork and so forth for Spectravision. And obviously Spectravision is related to Spectravideo, which is my favorite 8-bit computer system out there. And then also from that same seller, another one of these great old Compumates, also complete in box. I mean, rare, yeah, they are quite rare. But it's a very interesting concept from back in the day. Turn your console into a computer. Does it work? Not really. It's actually a pain to type on. I've tried. And you can only really do little basic program listings. But still, if I had one of these, and if I had a VCS back in the days with one of these, I would have spent hours on it. So yeah, another one, box. Not as in good condition as my other one, but I had to save it. Can't let it end up on a trash heap somewhere. So from that seller was all this Atari stuff, which was great. Very happy with that. And then moving on, there's a hospice, a local hospice that does like a blind auction. I always go past there and I bid on items. Sometimes I bid on items that I don't really want, but it's more for a good cause. It's going towards hospice, which does a lot of good work in the communities and that. And I picked this up. It's modern, it's not really, but it's retro themed. I like the box. The actual console inside, it's cheap Chinese, but I like the box. So I purchased that for a good cause. Okay. And then a mate of mine, Kenneth, he gifted this to me. I need to still fix it. Another project out there. Now, some of you may remember this from back in the day. A Super Simon, plain simple Simon back in the day. I never had one as growing up, but still, I think it's a little bit of history, and I certainly going to have a lot of fun with this, getting it up and running. And I mean, I just love those colors and these big buttons. on here. I can just imagine sitting around as an 8 or 9-year-old with your mates and bashing away at these things and trying to beat them. I mean, this would have kept me occupied for hours as well. And then lastly, not really a pickup, more of a trade. So what happened is the one Sunday I went with the wife to go to one of these moving on sales, you know, when people are leaving the country, like thousands of people are doing here in South Africa, unfortunately. They go and they put everything they own up to sort of an auction. So you have a moving on sale at a house, and you know, we like to go past there. I like to just go and browse, and my wife was actually after some furniture that was there. And while I was there browsing, you know, just looking at all the stuff that was on, you know, for sale, I saw a plastic packet in the one corner, and on the plastic packet it just said old PC games, 280 Rand. And I don't really collect old PC games, but I thought, so as I walked past, I sort of looked through the top of the plastic packet just to see what titles there were in there. Maybe, you know, some classic, you never know, especially some of the older big box titles, but there wasn't. It was just the normal, from what it looked like from the outside, your normal DVD type cases that were inside there. But as I walked past, I looked and I took a closer look. I said, those are not PC games. Those were GameCube games, NTSC GameCube games. So from what I could understand and from what I could pick up, this family might have has gone back to America. They from America, I take it. Hence, why else would there be an NTSC GameCube games in a plastic packet marked as old PC games? And there was quite a few of them in there. I'll put a picture up here somewhere to show you what was there. And I don't have a GameCube anymore, and especially not a NTSC GameCube. So I went onto some of the groups here, and I just said there, guys, I've got these games, and from what I could see, some of them were really valuable games. I sort of estimated, if I went on price charting, that they were value in South African terms about 10,000 Rand, these games, because there was a Zeldas in there and so forth. And I mean, the one Zelda game, complete in box, according to price charting, was $150. But I sort of said to myself, you know, I'm not really in this to make money. I actually just want to see if I could use this for trade, for items that you know, I'd rather have something on my shelf that I can use than to have NTSC games lying around that I will never get around to. So I put them on the local face group, chat groups and so forth, to say that I have these games for trade, and immediately a guy from Cape Town got hold of me, and he says he's got a GameCube NTSC and he would love these games. So I said, well, okay, what have you got to trade? And we ended up doing a trade, because I said to him, you know, I don't expect eBay prices, I don't expect to the value of those sort of things, and I'm not going to go through the effort of trying to sell them individually in that. I want to get rid of them as a lot. And he showed me various pictures of his doubles and duplicates and stuff, and we came to an agreement, and I was pretty happy with it at the end of the day, and he was very happy with it at the end of the day. So it's a nice way of trading with fellow gamers. So let me just show you what all I got in trade for those NTSC games. Okay, first up, a box Game Boy Advance. Great old systems these. Let me just take it out here. And you don't often find the boxes. Yes, you find the consoles, but you don't find the boxes. And the only issue with this one, it's got a bit of screen burn in it. I'm not too bothered. I'm not going to be really playing it. I prefer playing these games on a flip-top Game Boy Advance than on this system. But you know, great to have the box and the manuals and all that sort of thing. And this is going to look great on my display. So I was chuffed with that. Just put that away. And then a box Game Boy Color. Doesn't have the manuals and that in it. It's got the box, and the actual console itself works fantastically. I mean, I actually really do like the Game Boy Colors. The games are great, in really nice condition. I've actually, what was I playing? Conkers. Okay, when I got it. So I've already been playing around a little bit. Great systems these. So yeah, very chuffed to get that. And then lastly, something that I've never owned before, Game Boy Light. Now, one of the issues I had with playing Game Boy games on the original Game Boy was the contrast. My eyes are not that good, and I battle to make out what's happening on the actual screen. With this, a lot more contrast, a lot easier to see, and actually plays really well. I got my 18-in-1 cart in there, and I was having fun playing some of the classics. So really chuffed with that. And then together with that, there was a couple of cases that came with it. But those were the three main consoles. I thought I'd rather get a few handhelds. I've been enjoying the handhelds lately. They take up a hang of a lot less space. So I've been going for the handhelds lately, and very chuffed with that. So those are the three systems that are traded. Those, I think it was 10 GameCube games for. He got a great deal, because if you go against price charting, you know, it was 10,000 rands worth of games on price charting, and I would estimate this was about, at South African terms, was probably about 5,000 rands worth of stuff. But you know, I was willing to do it because you know, I'd rather have something that I'm after than have something that I'm never ever going to use at all. So guys, yeah, that's it. My latest pickups and so forth. Yeah, listen, keep well, keep safe, and cheers from me, and remember, keep it retro.